and kind of ask myself, well, it's just algebra. Can I make it look like x is raised to powers? And I can't, because the denominator, that 1 plus x to the 4th, I can't do anything with that. It's kind of all glued together. So really at this point, in terms of techniques of integration, the only thing we have to go with is to hope that there's a u substitution in there. When I look at this, if I'm thinking about a u substitution, in general, we're going to want to let the denominator be equal to u. If I just made a guess that u was equal to 1 plus x to the 4th, then when I take the derivative, I would get du is equal to 4x cubed dx. And I'd be looking at that and going, oh wait, I don't have an x cubed on the top. I actually only have an x. So we better try something else. My next step is to think about, well, I do have an x on the top. If that's going to be du, what would that mean u is? Well, if u were x squared, then du would become 2x dx. And I don't have that 2. I do have the x dx. Which would make 1/2 du equal to x dx. When I'm doing u substitutions, I'm thinking about this as my vocabulary list. And I now have to translate the original problem using this vocabulary list. I know how to translate the x dx. And if I use my vocabulary list, then I can think about that 1 plus x to the 4th as actually being one plus x squared squared again. So the denominator would become 1 plus u squared. This shows up so often for us. It really is good to, when you see that, you should be thinking that's arctan. And whether you call that arctan of u plus a constant or tan inverse of u plus a constant, either of these are fine. Arctan or tan inverse. My last step, because it was a u substitution, coming back and checking, this is an indefinite integral because I don't have bounds on my integration. So my last step is to plug back in substituting to get back to x's. So I end up with tan inverse. Ooh, I did the same thing I did earlier, and I lost my 1/2, but I caught myself this time. I lost that 1/2, which should have been with my du, or I could pop that out in front, which would make each of these a 1/2. So my final answer, I would write as 1/2 tan inverse of x squared plus a constant.